Hello and welcome to another video. We have made it to the end of 2020. Today is YouTube RUNwind. You may have heard of YouTube Rewind, but does YouTube Rewind ever include anything about the sport of running? No. Which is why today I will be breaking down everything. I will be breaking down all of the key moments of 2020. I will be covering everything from Joshua Cheptegei's 5K and 10K world records to a Wendy's 4x4 Blue Jean basketball mile world record. So join me today as we look back on what has been a crazy year. I hope you enjoy this video, and I will see you at the end. But without further ado, this is YouTube RUNwind 2020. Let's begin all the way in January. What seems like such a long time ago was only 11 and a half months ago. You see, there wasn't much happening in January. However, the first big indoor professional meet of the year was the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix. It was here where Nick Willis ran another sub 4 mile, and that sub 4 mile ties him for the longest streak of at least one sub 4 mile each year. His streak, 18 years in a row. Shortly after, the Oregon Ducks broke the indoor collegiate record in the men's distance medley relay. New fan favorite runner Cooper Tier clocked a 3:55 last leg to shave the DMR record by just over a second. The time ended up being 9 minutes and 24.52 seconds to take down the record of 9:25.97 set by Texas back in 2008. Those were some of the key moments that occurred in January, but in February, things got exciting. Because on February 8th, 2020, there was madness at the Millrose Games. Nico Young ran the 3K at the Millrose Games held at the Armory in New York City and broke the high school indoor 3K record running 7:56.97. Ajay Wilson broke her own American record in the indoor 800 running 1:58.29, and Donovan Brazier came from behind, crushed the last lap running 24.89, and he set a new American record in the indoor 800 running 1:44.2. However, with all of those great races, there was one that stood out. The best mile race I've ever seen in my life took place in the women's Wanamaker Mile. Ellie Purrier broke the American record running 4:16.85, which is impressive in its own right. However, what makes it even more impressive was this time was an 8-second PR and a 4-second drop of the record. There's more though. It was the second fastest indoor mile ever recorded. She beat Coco Klosterhoffman, who also set a national record for Germany, Gemma Ricci of Britain, who also set a national record, and Gabriella Stafford set a national record for Canada. This is a race you must watch, and this is also a race you must watch if you want to learn more about tactical racing. Even the post-race interview was incredible, as Ellie Purrier had an amazing reaction after she found out that she set the American record.
That represents a lot today. You win the Millrose Games, want to make a mile, but you have also set an American record. What do you think about this moment?
I didn't know that.
Yes, you did.
Oh my God. I don't know. I just held on for dear life and kicked as hard as I could.
Every athlete waits for a special moment, and this is one, setting an American record. How does this set you up for the rest of the year where you hope more special things happen?
I don't know. I'm just excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Unless there are a couple more races that happen within the next few hours of this video posting, this will be the greatest race of 2020, in my opinion. Now, moving on from that historic day in New York City at the Armory, we head to Boston. Held at the campus of Boston University, Iowan Carissa Schweitzer broke the 3K indoor American record, running 8:25. Now we head from the indoor track to the roads. On February 29th, not only is this a leap day, it was the U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials. On the men's side, nobody doubted that Galen Rupp would win, as he trotted to victory running 2:09:20. However, what was very unpredictable, unsponsored runner Jake Riley, and who I interviewed a couple months ago, completed the comeback of a lifetime. He came from behind, he fought the wind all by himself to work his way up, and finished second place running 2:10:02. 43-year-old Abdi Rahman finished third, and Leonard Courier finished fourth. It came down to a kick, and Riley and Abdi were both able to qualify and outkick Courier. Over on the women's side, in a wildly unpredictable race, many people thought that the first two runners would be Des Linden or Sarah Hall. However, Alifaline Tulimuk, Molly Seidel, and Sally Kipyego earned Olympic marathon spots. One thing that's very interesting about this race was Molly Seidel ran her first ever marathon that day, and she earned entry to the U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials via a half marathon. It was soon after this that the COVID-19 pandemic had reached America. On March 13th, it was the beginning of what would become a lot of cancellations. The NCAA Division I indoor meet, which was supposed to be held in Albuquerque, New Mexico, was canceled. Many of the athletes had already arrived. In March, many races were canceled. A few notable races included the Half Marathon World Championships, the Boston Marathon, and the London Marathon, as well as the JV Little Hawk Invite held at the campus of Iowa City High School. There was not much racing in the month of March. However, there was a little bit in Spain. This man in Spain outran police when he tried to get in his morning run on the beach. And on March 24th, the inevitable happened. The International Olympic Committee announced the postponement of the 2020 Olympics. And let's face it, I do not think God thought that we deserved this beautiful of a logo. As stay-at-home orders were issued around the world, many people found odd ways to run. Many people were forced to stay in their houses, which led a Russian man to run around his bed for over 10 hours in order to complete a 100-kilometer ultramarathon. Several people ran a marathon in their house, and fellow YouTuber Running with Mark ran one on his balcony in Finland. In April, the pandemic had not improved in the slightest in the United States, and nothing happened besides a few time trials. Fast forward to the month of May, and on May 18th, Strava was incredibly mean and made many features such as segment leaderboards require a membership. On May 20th, Jakob Ingebrigtsen smashed the Norwegian 5K national record by 8 seconds, running 13:29. And on May 23rd, more history was made as Leo Dashbaugh broke 4, becoming only the 11th American high school runner to break for in the mile. On June 19th, a new world record is set in the Wendy's 4x4 Blue Jean Basketball Mile. You can see that video by clicking the top right corner. And on July 4th, Chris Robertson, who I also interviewed on this channel, won the Beer Mile World Classic. And in the process, he set a new American record running 4:38. He later lowered his record, running 4:37. Shortly after, on July 11th, Shelby Houlihan set an American record in the outdoor 5K. She ran 14:23 at the Portland Inter-Squad meet. At the same meet over on the men's side, Mo Ahmed ran 12:47, which ended up being a Canadian record. And on July 23rd, runners around the world went home devastated. Garmin got hit by a ransomware attack which shut down Garmin Connect for over a week. This made it so users were not able to connect their watches to Strava. This led runners thinking if what they were doing even counted because of the famous quotes, "If it's not on Strava, it did not happen." On August 14th, Joshua Cheptegei of Uganda broke the 5K world record, running 12:35:37. He broke the previous record, which was set by Kenenisa Bekele, which many thought to be unbreakable. He did have a lot of aids at his disposal, such as the lights that kept him on pace and pacers for the first half of the race. And as he crossed the finish line, he nonchalantly stopped his watch at the end to make sure it was on Strava. It was a truly remarkable performance by Cheptegei. On September 4th, Mo Farah set a new 1-hour track world record covering 21,330 meters. The same day, Sifan Hassan also set the women's 1-hour record, running 18,930 meters. Although the original race, scheduled in April, was cancelled, the London Marathon held an elite-only event on October 4th. Nikita Denboar won the women's race in 2:18:58, followed by an insane kick from Sarah Hall to run 2:22. Olympic qualifier Molly Seidel finished 6th, running 2:25:13. The men's side was very surprising as Bekele dropped out just a few days before the race. It was supposed to be the showdown of a lifetime, as Eliud Kipchoge was supposed to race Bekele, and it was going to be an amazing performance. However, the unexpected happened. The GOAT, Eliud Kipchoge, lost. He did not have his best day, as simple as that, and went home with an 8th place finish, running 2:06:49. When you thought that there were no more world records to be set in 2020, you were wrong. On October 8th, Latessa Betgide set a new women's 5,000 meter world record, running 14:06. Joshua Cheptegei back for more, as the Ugandan once again beat a Bekele world record many thought to be impossible. Cheptegei shaved 6.53 seconds off of Bekele's 10,000 meter world record and ran 26:11. And yet again, we are talking about Joshua Cheptegei. This time, it's on the flip side. On October 17th, Jacob Keplimo upset Joshua Cheptegei to win the 2020 World Half Marathon Championship in 58:49. This was Cheptegei's debut in the half marathon, I believe. And what is very surprising is Keplimo is also Ugandan. Many people thought that Cheptegei was the new GOAT, but is it possible that he is not even the fastest from his own country. Only time will tell. On the women's side, Kenyan Paris Jepchirchir took the victory running 65-16. Fast forward a few weeks to November 21st, where in Huntsville, Alabama, high school junior Jenna Hutchins became the first high school girl to break 16 in a cross-country 5K. On December 6th, the greatest half marathon in history occurred. Held in Valencia, Spain, 4 runners ran faster than the previous world record of 58:01 set by Jeffrey Kamura in 2019. Kibiwat Candy ran 57:32. And a week later, Jenna Hutchins was relevant once again, this time on the track as she took down Caitlin Tuohy's 5,000 meter record, running 15:34. I know that there were many marathons that I discussed in this video, but there was one more in 2020 that was exceptional. On December 19th, held in Chandler, Arizona, there were quite a few remarkable performances at the Marathon Project. On the women's side, Sarah Hall ran 2:20:32, which makes her the second fastest women's marathoner in American history. This race came just 11 weeks after her London Marathon PR. Second place finisher, Kira D'Amato, finished running 2:22:56, which made her the 8th fastest American marathoner. The men's side was just as exciting. 7 Americans broke 2:10, and relatively unknown runner who is sponsored by Reebok, Martin Hayher, won the race running 2:08:59. The story gets better though, as Hayher is still in medical school studying anesthesiology. He spent most of the previous weeks leading up to the race treating COVID patients and working long hours. And it seems that history has repeated itself, as if you want to be a world-class runner, you need to be in medical school. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, well, the first man to go under 4 in the mile was Sir Roger Bannister, who at the time was a med student. And we will end 2020 with some good news. World Athletics President Seb Coe claimed that it will be harder than ever to cheat and that dopers will be fearlessly weeded out at the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. Very good news for the sport of track and field. So thank you so much for making it all the way through the end of the video. I really do hope you enjoy it. I worked really hard on this, and here is a clip of the end of one of the narrations. And ran 26:11. So as you can tell, I am very worn out from editing, and I am just so relieved to have it done. It was fun to make, but definitely a grind. So it would mean a lot if you could please subscribe and like the video if you have not already. An inquiry of the episode: what was your favorite race that you watched in 2020? And how was your year of training? And also, there were so many more performances I could have included, but please let me know if there was anything I missed that you thought should have been in this video, because people will want to hear about it in the comments. So once again, thank you so much for being here and sticking with me through this challenging year. It feels so long ago that I posted the first lockdown log, but it also seems like such a short amount of time that this year has been. So thank you for sticking with me. I promise to keep up with the videos, and I really look forward to 2021 and all it will bring. Let's just hope that it is a decent year. I think that that would be good, a decent year. So thank you. Live life to the max, run to the max.
飛び越えられなかったタイミングが合わなかったんでしょうね。 うお